I'm Gary Goldstein at CMO Club, and we're here with Christine Nashick from DHL. Christine, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me about the trends that you see in the air, especially social and mobile. What do you, mobile, for example, there's so many divergent opportunities available to us today to get our message, our story, how we communicate. What are the challenges and the opportunities within mobile?
The challenge is making sure that you can get enough information to someone. So for instance, doing a sale for DHL, it's pretty easy to transact and ship something. However, for international shipping, there can be a lot of complexities and tools that you need to draw upon, and people in mobile want to do something quickly, and sometimes shipping to, say, Russia can be quite a complex process. So it's not really geared towards mobile because it takes more time than a mobile user wants to do. So that's probably the biggest challenge we have, to make it easy enough that they stay on long enough to complete it correctly.
And of course, you are a brand with a lot of history, a lot of maturity, and yet in a very crowded, super competitive space. How do you jump up your level of relationship? How do you engage your customers now that's different from what you were doing several years ago?
I think it starts with education at DHL. So we became focused on international about 5 years ago in the US. And part of becoming international specialists meant that we truly, all employees had to be. So whether I'm just delivering your shipment to you or whether I run operations, everybody goes through a certain amount of training. So training is a very important part at DHL, so that we're all educated to speak about being an international shipper. So that truly is how we differentiate ourselves, because we have a very diverse and large network, and we're also very educated to talk about it. So ensuring that everybody understood our value proposition and then going out to the market with it. So we actually, when we got rid of doing domestic in the US, we took a year off of actually talking to the press. We didn't do any interviews, we didn't do any media, there was no investment in marketing, and 100% of my time was spent on the value proposition and training for our employees.
Well, that's a big commitment. That's actually a very bold move for a company of that size.
It was, but the year prior had been a very negative one, because when we got out of domestic, unfortunately, a lot of people lost their jobs. And when you don't talk to the press, sometimes press creates their own stories. So it wasn't that we, the year that we took off, it was actually a good thing to then have a year of quiet after a year of some mixed publicity.
That's a fascinating story. What are some of the one or two of the key lessons that you've learned in hindsight that you would share with your peers when companies find themselves at those intersection moments, those transitional moments?
I think stay true and don't waver. Having a positive, clear direction is so much better than going back and forth. The year before we decided to no longer do domestic in the US, we had a few different things that we were considering, and I think we were probably too vocal on different choices to customers. So once you let a customer know that you're thinking of something and then you change your mind, it creates uncertainty. So certainly my first lesson would be stand firm, pick a path, and move towards it, and try to have it be a long-term path. We had a 2015 strategy that we set in 2009. So it was nice to be able to go to our employees as well as our customers and say, here's where we're going to be, and ensure that we stay firm to it.
You actually did something I thought was really smart, especially with the international focus. You sponsored Manchester United, this whole tour. And I read somewhere in these papers that part of the rationale, I suppose, I'll let you talk to it, was the idea that this sort of, the relevance or the kinship was around speed, precision, and teamwork. And when you go international, of course, that's like a really great idea. So how did that come up, and how was that experience?
So actually, DHL UK gets all of the credit for forming the partnership with Manchester United. We just simply leveraged the partnership that had been formed, and they did a US tour here. So when they came over a few summers ago and did a US tour, we tried to really bring it to our customers. So it was training events for our customers and their kids. So going out, what could be better than a family day with Manchester United and teaching soccer and doing soccer? So when they came across for their games, we made sure that we had family events where we could engage our customers at every city. So it really is, Manchester United is very similar to us in terms of the brand attributes, but also their leadership with Sir Alex at the time. Very much team-oriented and very much goal-focused.
Christina, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.